This is a stupid song, it just goes on and on. You might find some meaning, but you would be wrong.
All right, TrevorStrong.org. Thanks for the usage of the stupid song. Once a month, I like to do a little explanation as to why the hell we do this segment. For any new viewer that might be tuning in or any new listener. So we used to do a segment on the show called WWE's Excessive Usage of Stupid Nicknames, talking about how many times Michael Cole says it's boss time and it's the big dog and all this other nonsense, the Kingslayer, the Architect, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. We stopped doing it because it never changed. If anything, it got worse, so it became redundant. And we segued it into the Stupid People segment. We've been doing that ever since. And we're going to continue it even though it's not pro wrestling because we just like it, Sean.
Yeah.
You know? So I got some good ones again, and I got another one for the Sean Ross Sapp file, damn it. I'm always looking for them.
It's a weekly thing, man.
Yeah, but I had a week where I wasn't able to find one, and I was bummed because, you know, I should always be able to find one. There should always be Stupid People news about, like, penises and shit.
Yeah,
and
like pro wrestling writer takes a dump on mixed match challenge logo.
Like that, yeah. Well, we're going to have a news story up about that. So this first one was reported by the News Tribune out of Tacoma, Washington on January 30th. This is good. A 20-year-old man placed an order for pizza using a fake name. Then when the delivery person... You're nodding. Did you see this one?
No.
Okay. Then when the delivery person showed up, he robbed them at gunpoint.
Oh...
Well, here's the big problem. Number one, he used his cell phone to place the order. He had placed an order via his cell phone 4 days earlier using his real name. He had the order go to his real address. And so as you can imagine, it was just a matter of minutes before the police showed up, tracked him down, and he was arrested on first-degree assault and first-degree robbery. Plus, they determined that gun that he used was stolen.
Like, it's real hard to commit crimes these days and get away with it. Like,
well, but if you're going to be a fucking moron, it's going to make, it's harder to get away with it, Sean.
There are security cameras and like tracking devices all over the place.
And cell phone apps that you used 4 days earlier to put in a real order.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No.
Papa John's went and busted his ass.
That's right. Maybe Peyton Manning did it. You never know.
Probably.
This next one was reported by the United Press International, or UPI, on February 3rd. Now, I am not political. This is not a political statement. And this is not the Trudeau one, but we're going to get to that.
Okay.
This is another political one.
Okay.
This is not a political thing. I'm just telling facts. That's all I'm doing. Now, there have been several examples over the years, and I know you know what I'm talking about, Sean. I know Nigel knows what I'm talking about, of politicians and celebrities, and they say stupid things because they're out of touch with reality.
Yes.
Right? So they'll say something stupid about, you know, somebody's finances or something just because they're so out of touch. So there's a gentleman by the name of Paul Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know now what I'm talking about?
I know.
Okay.
I'm aware of this fella.
So Paul Ryan is a Speaker of the House in Washington. He was the Republican vice presidential candidate alongside Mitt Romney in 2012. Last Saturday, you talk about out of touch, okay? Last Saturday, he posted this on Twitter, and this is a quote. A secretary at a public high school in Lancaster, PA, said she was pleasantly surprised her pay went up by $1.50 a week. She said that will more than cover her Costco membership for the year. Now, the reason that he posted that is because he was trying to boast about the success of a recently passed tax reform bill. And he thought that posting a tweet about how a woman's pay went up $1.50 a week was actually going to be a positive thing to say. To brag about this tax reform bill. As you can imagine, he got shit on hard, Sean. Hard.
Oh, yeah.
And he pulled the tweet down. How out of touch do you have to be to think that $1.50 a week is going to make a difference in somebody's life? How out of touch do you have to be?
Oh.
I mean, unless they're at the very, they're struggling.
Right.
Man, that's $1.50 a week.
Even if you're struggling, what are you going to get? A cup of coffee?
Ramen noodles, maybe.
Ramen noodles, yeah.
2 ramen noodles.
You can't even get microwave lasagna for that, Sean.
You never answered me in regards to that. Am I allowed to expense that as podcast fodder?
Why the hell should you be allowed to expense microwave lasagna?
It's podcast fodder.
I'll tell you what. If you will actually make your own...
I would rather not. That shit is disgusting.
No, well, listen, hear me out. If you will actually go out, make your own pasta noodles, lasagna pasta noodles, make your own. Get your own meat, your own cheese, your own cottage cheese, everything, and make your own homemade lasagna, you can expense that.
Well, Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. I make my own lasagna all the time.
Lies. Okay,
I do.
putting
I
it in the
don't make it with
microwave,
noodles,
putting
though.
it in the
I make it with
microwave for
squash.
putting it in the microwave for 3 minutes does not count as making your own lasagna.
No, I take the noodles out. I don't do noodles. I use like squash and vegetables like that to get rid of the carbs.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Oh
Really?
yeah.
You don't use pasta. You make whole wheat pasta.
Yeah, but I mean, just the carbs are still a little too much for me.
All
I
right.
don't get to be as active as I used to be. Working a lot, Jimmy. Working a lot.
All right. This last one, this is for the Sean Ross Sapp file.
Hell yeah.
It was reported by the New York Post on January 4th. So there is a cosmetic treatment that is gaining popularity in Thailand.
Oh, I can't wait.
And it's being done at a hospital in Bangkok. And this hospital is actually promoting the procedure on Facebook. They've actually started promoting it on Facebook. It is
What? You can't hit the mute button?
I don't know where the hell the mute button is.
Damn.
I don't know where it is. Now it's going to show me. It is laser penis whitening. I'm sorry, I still got a cough. I got a tickle in my throat. According to the AFP news agency, the clinic averages 100 patients a month, paying $650 US for 5 laser sessions. They claim they use the same pigmentation laser equipment that they use for other skin treatments. And they actually started doing it because they were already doing vagina whitening services. And they claimed that people coming in for that were getting requests, or they were making requests to get penis whitening treatment. And doctors are coming out saying it's very risky. You can end up with severe burns. You can end up with scarring. And you could even end up with a penis darker than the one you started out with. But it's become a trend in Thailand.
What are we doing wrong? That people getting their ding-dongs lasered white.
That's right.
It's drawing $65K a month.
Try it. You did the math on that.
You want me to try the laser thing? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you're already pretty white. I don't know, man. Do you have that problem? He doesn't know how to answer that one, Nigel.
I'm just this has got me baffled. I'm speechless.
Yeah. It's a thing now, man. Matter of fact, if you want, go ahead and look it up. Laser penis whitening, because I know you're big into the Google here when we're doing the podcast. Go ahead.
Yeah,
and
I'm big on the laser penis whitening too. That's a thing.
I bet you that if he puts it in his search bar, it's going to come up in his history.
I just type in LA and it's like
boom.
White.
Okay, I gotta tell you a quick little story. So, do you remember the old satellite dishes where you could get like the free to air ones where you could basically get stuff for illegally?
Yes.
Right? And they had the boxes, the illegal boxes, and you had to put in a code whenever it changed, right?
Yes.
Years ago, I was at a buddy's house, and we were watching. It was a Randy Couture fight on his little dish that he had, and right when the fights were starting, the box went out, and we had to go on the internet in order to try to find the new code. I opened up his laptop, and all I put in was a W for www. I put in a W, and like 35 porn sites came up in his history, just boom, just like that. And I looked at him, and I was like, what the hell are you spending your time on?
What was the weirdest one? What was the weirdest one?
I didn't take the time to focus on each one. I just saw them all come up. And he looks at me, and he goes, I mean, you know, I'm between girlfriends, Jimmy. What can I say?
Probably the best that I remember, I'll put him on blast, too. My friend Monty Young. Naming the guy. He came over. He used my friend Brandon's new computer. YouTube was pretty new back then. And he was the first one to use it. We type in G, and it fills out. Girls fighting with titties out. And I thought, huh? So now, anytime... I'm a World Star fan. I love World Star. I like Street Fight videos. Anytime one of those pops up, I'm tagging him immediately. Here you go. Found it for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you follow in any way Canadian politics?
Very little.
Okay, so tell me what you do know.
Eventually, you will move me there, so I need to.
All right. So you at least know, like, the gentleman in the highest office. He's not a president. Do you know the term
Trudeau,
that we use? Yeah, but he's not a president. You know the term that they use for him, the
Prime
title?
Minister, right?
Prime Minister, right. So Justin Trudeau is our Prime Minister. And once again, this is not a political statement, just facts. That's all I'm doing here. This is not a political statement. Justin Trudeau, he's been doing these town hall events. And what he does is he goes to various cities in Canada and he sits in the middle of kind of like a little, arena type thing. And he takes live questions from people. And I give him credit for having the balls to do that because it takes balls. Especially, I don't think these people are vetted, Nigel.
Oh,
I don't
rough.
I don't think they're vetted. I think he literally sits in his chair, and then whoever wants to ask a question, they get a mic and they stand up and ask a question.
Like a UFC Q&A event.
Like a UFC Q&A event, yeah. And so imagine the balls it takes when you don't know what's coming, right? The problem is Justin Trudeau is not the quickest on his feet. And so he's taken a lot of heat this week because he said some things that were a little bit questionable. And there's a wrestling comparison to one. So he was in Edmonton, Alberta, the home of my Edmonton Oilers, who are going to miss the playoffs this year, but that's okay.
Shame.
And a woman stood up, asked a question that took her 18 minutes to get out, Nigel? It was painful.
Yeah, it was bad.
But part of her question, she used the word mankind. Justin Trudeau, who I think he's just trying to make everybody happy. He's trying to, appease everybody. He actually cut her off and he said, and this is a direct quote, "We like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind because it's more inclusive." Right?
Jesus Christ.
And Nigel's laughing, and Nigel's already well aware of this, and yet he's still laughing because it's so stupid. So the internet, worldwide media shit all over him, and they were joking around with, well, maybe the province of Manitoba now, we should rename it Peopletoba. Manwich, to make manwiches, sloppy joes. Peoplewitch, right?
That was great.
There's a small satire website called the Daily Mire, and they actually retweeted my tweet about this. They posted a photo of Mick Foley as Mankind, about to hit Trudeau with a steel chair in the back, because the big thing was because Trudeau was trying to ban Mankind. So they had Mick Foley about to hit him with a steel chair from the back. So I wanted to throw that reference. I think you have the photo.
Yeah.
Let people see the photo.
Oh, yeah, it's up there now.
Oh, it's up there now? Okay. Yeah. So I thought that was just a great little thing. And Trudeau now is trying to spin his wheels and say, oh, no, it was a joke. It was a poorly worded joke. It wasn't a joke. He was serious. It's just something that he said. So.
People get so goddamn stupid over politics.
Yeah, and again, I just think he feels the need to appease everyone, and you can't appease everyone. And you know what? Let me tell you something, man. I'm not American, and I don't really care too much about who the U.S. president is. Trump has done and said a lot of stupid shit, yeah. But at least from the very beginning, he didn't hide who he is. And if you don't like what I say, well, that's what I say.
I gotta say, there were so many people who got straight worked. I'm talking WERKT worked by that Alexa Bliss sexism promo. It
Really?
did exactly what it was supposed to be. Somebody popped on our YouTube and said, "I'm tired of this fucking SJW bullshit, bunch of conservative bullshit." And I was like, wait a second. You're accusing Vince McMahon of pushing a liberal agenda?
Right.
To what? To what?
Yeah.
The man who spent 9 figures trying to put his wife in Republican office before Donald Trump came along and did it.
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
At one time or another in storyline.
That deserves a...
At what time or another in storyline, Vince McMahon's character had sex with every beautiful woman in the company.
Vince McPeople.
I'm sorry, Vince McPeople.
Shout out to Judgment in our live chat.
That was actually very clever. Is he the one that said that?
Yes.
That was very clever. Vince McPeople.
Did you insensitive prick?
I wish I had thought of that. Vince McPeople. That's actually really good.